Hello fellow stackers, 365 here, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I wanted to talk to you about investing and the kind of investing mindset. Now I found that since I've been investing for around about 4 years in total now, and for those of you that have kind of followed my journey along and listened to my story, you'll know that I started off investing in property, and then I kind of started investing in stocks and crypto, and then precious metals was kind of the last thing I started investing in. Now, it's normally done the other way around. Normally, people kind of invest in the kind of easier entry vehicles, as in stocks or crypto or precious metals first, as opposed to property. Property is kind of the end goal for most people. But I kind of did it the other way around. I brought property first as an investment, and then the income that I make from the property, I started putting into other investments to kind of diversify. And that was because I looked at my portfolio. I made a spreadsheet up to kind of track my net worth and track my assets and my liabilities and to kind of see it on paper. And I made like a pie chart, and like I said, my pie chart was pretty much 100% of my assets were in property. So I decided I needed to diversify. And I read a book called How to Own the World. Now, How to Own the World is a very, very good book. And it basically explains that it's very important to be diversified because the market cycle, sometimes you might be going through a cycle where stocks are going down, but property's going up, or property might be crashing, but precious metals are doing really well. So the aim of the game is to kind of diversify yourself amongst different assets so that you're always making money, even if one of the asset classes isn't performing very well. So ever since I got that mindset and I started investing in different things, it changed my kind of outlook on spending money in general. Now, before, when I'd buy, say, a pair of trainers or a new pair of jeans or a t-shirt, or even just down the pub and having a couple of drinks with my mates, I wouldn't really think about what I was spending my money on. Whereas now I compare everything to an investment. So, for example, if I go out for a meal, I'm going out for drinks, say I buy a round of drinks and it costs me £30, I think to myself, I could have bought another 1 ounce silver coin for that. So I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, because once you start getting into investing, you start realizing that you need to allocate your cash in ways that it's going to work for you and bring you in passive income and make you money. You really do start to look at life in a different kind of perspective. Now, let me know if you've experienced that yourself when you first started getting into precious metals and into any investment in general. Now, I know there's many people that watch my videos that have just starting out getting into investing, and I'll be interested to hear, what did you start with? Did you start with precious metals, or did you start with another asset class, and have you kind of gradually worked your way to precious metals? Because I feel like at the moment there's a lot of people that started in the stock market because the stock market was doing really, really well for a couple of years. And then when the stock market started crashing and everyone lost a lot of money, they were looking for somewhere more secure and safer and more of a kind of steady growth, and where you could put your money and it'd be more secure. And I feel like that's why more people now are moving over to precious metals, because they're doing their research, they're looking at the charts, and they're seeing that over a long period of time, precious metals has performed very, very well. You've only got to look at the charts for the last 100 years, and you can see that it's had its ups and downs like all investments do, but over a long period of time, it's stayed very, very steady. So I think that's why we're seeing more and more people flood into the precious metals market, because it seems more secure, in my opinion, from everything else that I've invested in. Apart from property, property's done me quite well. I got in at quite a nice time, so I managed to get lucky with that, you could say. But a lot of things like stocks and crypto, yes, there's quite good money to be made, but there's also a lot of money that can be lost. Whereas, like I said, I feel with precious metals, it's more kind of consistent. There aren't such huge dips. It's more of a kind of steady growth over time. So yeah, let me know your thoughts behind that. Let me know if precious metals, like I said, is your first choice of investment, or have you gradually shifted over to that because you've kind of seen the more security and the slower growth, but less dips and less volatility. Now, back to kind of the topic of the video. Now, I kind of look at everything I spend as in terms of investment, and what could I have spent that money on instead. And I've got to a stage now where I'm even looking at things as investments. So when I buy my children, say, like, perfect example is Lego. Now, when I've been buying these Lego sets to make this content more interesting, I've been kind of doing Lego builds on this channel, and there's other kind of sets of Lego that I've been buying my children as birthday presents and Christmas presents and things like that. And when I buy them some Lego, because of the way it's presented and looks really nice in the box, and Lego's such a big brand, sometimes I think this is a really nice set. Should I give this as a present, or should I put this in the loft, or should I put this in storage, or should I wrap it up in bubble wrap and in another box and look after this? Because who knows, in 10, 20 years, this Lego set might be really sought after and it might be worth quite a lot of money and be an actual investment. So I've started almost looking at everything like that. And now these Pokemon cards, the reason they're on the screen is I went to McDonald's the other day. Now, before you think I'm a horrible dad, my children are very, very young, so they don't really understand that you always get toys in Happy Meals and that sort of thing. So it's not like I've given them their Happy Meals and grabbed away their toys and they're in tears. So what basically happened is I brought them both Happy Meals, and then I saw that there was Pokemon cards in them. They hadn't seen the Happy Meals. They were in the back of the car, and I'm kind of passing back their food and sorting it all out. And I see these Pokemon cards in there. And I kind of grabbed them away and I said, "Oh no, hang on." And my partner said, "What are you doing? They're for the children." I said, "No," but I said, "I don't know how many of these have been released." And she goes, "Oh, hundreds of them must be released, thousands, millions. They're in all the Happy Meals at the moment." But I said, "Yeah, I don't know if there's kind of ones in here that could be worth money in the future, if these might become sought after in the future." I said, let me do a little bit of research first before they just rip them open. Because all they're going to do, they're at an age where, like I said, they don't really understand things like this. They're just going to literally rip them open, bend them in half. Within a couple of weeks' time, these cards will be ripped in two. So, like I said, it's not like they're at an age where they really want their toys from their Happy Meals and I've taken them off them and they're crying. It's just like I wanted to do a little bit of more research into them and work out whether, in fact, if I was to keep hold of these, would they be worth a little bit of money in the future? Would people look back in the future and say, I want to collect the special edition Pokemon cards that were put in McDonald's things and they weren't released out in the normal packs? Now, like I said, I don't really know. I don't know that much about Pokemon cards in terms of investing. I have got a few Pokemon cards that I brought for investment purposes, and I've also got a couple of slabbed Pokemon cards, which again I've brought for investment purposes, but I haven't done a hell of a lot of research. I've just been buying kind of the older Pokemon cards and just building up a little bit to almost have part of my portfolio in a kind of allocation to collectibles. Now, I don't know exactly what the percentage of my portfolio is in collectibles. I haven't actually documented that on my spreadsheet, so I'd have to let you know in the future video what kind of percentage it is, but it's quite a small percentage overall for my whole portfolio. But I have got kind of a percentage now of my investment portfolio that is in collectibles, and that includes Pogs, if you remember what those were, Mighty Max, Pokemon cards. I've got some old Marvel action figures. I've got some old phone cards. Remember when there used to be phone boxes and you'd buy these phone cards and they'd have different designs on them and you'd top them up and you'd use them in the phone boxes. So I've got a number of different things that in my head I think might be worth money in the future. And they're all in storage, all boxed up, all bubble wrapped, all sellotaped up and secured. And they're all kind of marker penned what they are with the date that I brought them and all the rest of it. So yeah, so I'm going a bit off topic again, but basically I'm trying to say that once you start investing in different assets, it really changes your outlook on life and it really does make you overthink before you spend anything. It makes you think to yourself, is this the best place I could be spending my money? Could I be putting some of this in an index fund? Could I be putting some of this into some more copper? Do I think copper is going to be a good investment in the future? Do I think silver is going to be a good investment in the future? Do I think collectibles and Pokemon cards are going to be a good investment? And it really makes you kind of double think before you spend, which I think is a good thing. But do you think I've taken it to the extreme that I'm taking Pokemon cards out of my children's Happy Meals in the case that they might become valuable? Now, yeah, let me know what you think about that in the comment section. I've actually brought some of these, which are cases to store the cards in. So you put them in, I've done a bit of research, apparently you put them in this kind of soft case first, and then you can put them in this harder case. And this is a way of protecting them. And like I said, this might be a waste of money. These cards might not be worth anything in the future. But I would be very interested to hear from those of you that do collect Pokemon cards and you're into kind of this sort of thing. I know there's a couple of people that watch my channel that actually sell Pokemon cards and they're into that sort of thing. So you might be able to help me. So let's have a little look what we've got. So this one here is actually open. And this has got a mixture of Pokemon cards. So this wasn't just from one trip. This is from a couple of trips now. So these are the cards I've actually held back. So my children actually have got some of the cards that I didn't think looked too special. And like I said, they've already ripped them and they're damaged and they're in the bin. So I'm glad I kept back some. Now, like I said, let me know if these worth keeping. Are these anything special? Now, the reason I kept hold of this one is because it's got a high number up here, a high HP. So I'm guessing that one could be good. This one I kept hold of because it's Growlithe, and I know that Growlithe is kind of an original Pokemon card name. It's also a shiny, is that what they're called? A shiny hologram one, I'm not really sure, but you can see it's like a shiny background, so I kept hold of that one. Lapras, got quite a high HP. Well, I think that's quite high. And Lapras, again, I recognise from back in the day. It's kind of a well-known one. And then we've got this one here, lower HP, but again, it's shiny. Now, like I said, I don't really know what I'm looking for or what I'm doing. These might be really, really common cards and not worth putting in sleeves and keeping hold of. So do let me know. But like I said, I'm going to be putting them in sleeves and I'm going to be protecting them just out of the kind of hope that they could be valuable in the future. And like I said, I've got nothing to lose really, because my children don't really appreciate these. Like I said, they're quite young, so they don't really understand Pokemon cards. It's not that they're going to be collecting them and they're missing out or anything. Like I said, the ones they've got already are damaged. So yeah, let me know what you think about that. Now, this one's a bit more exciting because I haven't actually opened this one. So this one's actually sealed. So we're going to open this one on camera, and I don't want you to think that this channel's changing into a Lego build channel or a Pokemon card unboxing channel, because we are still predominantly precious metals here, but I just like to mix up the content every now and then. Now you can see that straight away we've already got that one, so that kind of confirms the question from the first ones. I've already got that here somewhere, I think. Is that exactly the same? Yeah, so that's exactly the same. So I'm guessing that's quite a common one, although it's got a shiny background. I'm guessing it's fairly common. So let me know, is that worth still putting in a sleeve or not? Now these ones, like I said, anything under 100 I'm not really keeping because I'm guessing it's not worth it. But like I said, I don't really know what I'm looking for. That one's bang on 100, so I'll probably keep hold of that one. That one looks quite cool. So yeah, like I said, I don't really know what I'm looking for, what's good, what's bad, if these could be worth anything in the future. Are these collectible? Is it a different kind of set, the ones that are given away free in the Happy Meals at McDonald's? Or are they the same as the ones that you kind of get in the sets if you was to buy them from a shop? So yeah, let me know what you think about that. Like I said, this channel is definitely not going to be branching away from precious metals. That is what this channel is all about. I just think it's quite nice sometimes to talk about alternative investments and just investing in general and the mindset that comes with investing. So I think it's very important that people, although they've found my channel and they're enjoying watching videos about precious metals, I think it's also very important to mention other investments as we go along, because I don't want people to think that I put all my eggs in one basket and all of my capital is allocated to precious metals, because that's just not the case. I'm very, very diversified. Precious metals is slowly becoming one of my main allocations in my pie, if you like, of investments. And that is why I've explained I'm not adding much weight. Well, I'm not actually buying any bullion myself this year for the rest of 2023. And there's a number of reasons. I've explained it in previous videos, but one is because the price is going up and up and up. And I do think we'll have a drop again next year when it levels out. And the second reason is, like I said, my allocation to precious metals is very, very high now. So I'm at a stage where I need to actually level it out a little bit. I need to put a little bit more in stocks. I need to put a little bit more in crypto. I need to put a little bit more in property, maybe start saving up for another deposit, for another buy to let. So yeah, so like I said, although this channel is predominantly based around precious metals, and it always will be because that's my main passion, and I love the fact that with kind of precious metals, you can actually hold them in your hand. It's a hard asset. No one can take this away from you. Your own bank. And look at the milk spotting on that one. And yeah, like I said, precious metals will always be probably my favourite investment. I think property is my end goal to kind of retire from work. But I think in terms of what I get the most enjoyment out, it's got to be precious metals, because my buy-to-let properties you can't play around with and you can't see them, and a lot of them are quite far away from where I live, so it's not even like I can drive past and appreciate them. But this stuff you actually have in your hand, you can actually pick it up, you can play around with it, and it's just proven to be such a fun investment to hold. So yeah, we're going to wrap the video up there. Look at that bird, look how nice that looks. I really do love these copper rounds. I took some of them out of the capsule so you can see them a little bit better. But yeah, let me know what you think about that. Do you find that since you've been investing, you do tend to look at everything as an investment? Or is that just me? Am I being a bit extreme by taking Happy Meal toys from my children and putting these in a sleeve and hoping that these are going to be worth something in the future? But yeah, let me know what you think about that. As always, thanks very much for watching my videos. Like I said, a bit of a different video there. I just like the idea of letting you know that when you invest in precious metals or crypto or stocks, whatever it may be, in my opinion, and like I said, I'm not a financial advisor, so make your own decisions. But in my opinion, it's very important to be diversified. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Do spread your wealth around different places, because there will be periods of time where precious metals are dropping. That's just how the cycles work for different assets. And then there'll be a period of time when stocks are booming again and they're going back up. And if you've got a little bit of pie, a little piece of pie from every kind of asset there is, then you're always going to be in the green somewhere. And as an average, your portfolio is going to be performing well, because the investments, the assets that are going up will outperform the ones that are going down over a long period of time. So yeah, let me know what you think about that. As always, thanks very much for watching. Like I said, thanks for all the support, and I hope you have a nice day.